Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. So everybody's freaking out about this article that says that GC, Guitar Center, might actually be going under because they're filing for bankruptcy. And I'll tell you, Guitar Center is in trouble. Again. For those of you who don't know, Guitar Center is the biggest retailer for musical instruments in the whole world. They have over 300, yes, 300 musical instrument stores. And if you've never been to one, here's a short clip of one. Okay, so ever since I can remember, Guitar Center's been in trouble. As some of you may know, I was actually a senior department manager at Sam Ash Music Stores, which is basically Guitar Center's competition. And I was there for about 8 years. I started working at Sam Ash in 2007. And ever since then, there were always rumors about GC going under. Because of course, you gotta spy on the competition, right? Okay, so here's the difference between Sam Ash and Guitar Center. When I started working at Sam Ash, we only had like 53 stores. Only. So Guitar Center was always bigger than Sam Ash, but the big difference was that Sam Ash was, and still is, family owned and operated. That there's actual Sam Ash relatives working and operating the whole company. You had Paul Ash, Richard Ash, Sammy Ash, and so on. Whereas Guitar Center is an actual corporation, which means that you have a lot of investors, a lot of money tied up, stocks, and a different credit line. So yeah, completely different story. Anyhow, getting back to the matter at hand. When I started working at Sam Ash in 2007, Guitar Center had just been bought out, and they had over $1 billion in debt at that point. That's a lot of money. But the thing with Guitar Center is that for the longest time, they were too big to fail. What does that mean? If Guitar Center goes under, we might actually lose a lot of other companies because of it. By being the biggest retail company in the world, they're actually Gibson's and Fender's and most music instrument companies' biggest customer. So if Guitar Center goes under, that'll definitely mean that Gibson and Fender are gonna take a big hit. Especially Gibson, because they're struggling as it is. So what really is going on at Guitar Center? As it stands right now, they actually missed a payment of interest accrued of $45 million.
Holy shit!
And they only have 30 days to come up with that money and pay that off. Keep in mind that, as I said before, they have over 300 stores and over 9,000 employees. And even though ever since the pandemic started, musical instrument sales have gone through the roof worldwide, a lot of people are just buying online. And that basically just leveled the field. Because before this pandemic, you would go to Guitar Center, you would go to Sam Ash, you would go to your brick and mortar stores, and you would actually try out the stuff. You would grab the guitar, you would play it, see how it feels, see how it sounded, try out that amplifier, try out that pedal, and you would actually buy something that you knew how it felt, that you knew how it sounded. And I definitely recommend that once this thing is over, you go back to doing that. But ever since Corona, that was off limits. All the stores were closed, and they only resorted to selling online, just like Sweetwater, Reverb, eBay, and everybody else. Except Reverb and Sweetwater and Thomann actually had the platforms ready to do so. Guitar Center basically had to come up with a new way of doing business on a pinch. So yeah, they laid off a lot of people. Then there was that getting the paychecks back from the employees debacle a couple of months ago. They actually got sued for not paying the store's rent. So yeah, it's going to be really hard for them to come up with the $45 million by the end of the month. By the end of November, that is. To make matters worse, their credit rating actually dropped big time in the last year. So they can't even borrow money to pay this off and push that debt forward. So what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to restructure the debt so they can pay it off by 2021 with an increased interest. And they've done that before. And it almost always resulted on bankruptcy because they defaulted on that debt as well. What does defaulting mean? That means that you are not able to pay the amount of money in the time agreed upon. Whether it is that you pay less money than you were supposed to, or that you do pay the money but it takes you longer to pay it. If Guitar Center defaults, then that's going to drop their credit rating even farther. So they definitely want to avoid that. The problem is, as of now, they have a declared debt of $1.3 billion. So yeah, the future is not looking that bright for Guitar Center. And don't be fooled. The fact that I worked at Sam Ash for so many years does not mean that I want Guitar Center to go under, by any means. I have a lot of friends at Guitar Center. I've been to Guitar Centers all over USA a lot of times. And even though I don't agree with most of Guitar Center's policies, I still want them to do well. Because if they don't, it's really going to hurt some of my favorite guitar brands. And of course, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. I've seen it happen to Mars Music before. I really don't want to see it happen again. Okay guys, so that's my 2 cents on Guitar Center going bankrupt. I really hope it doesn't, but even if they do, I really hope that somebody buys them out so that they can still operate and be in business. What I really think is going to happen is that they're going to close down some of the stores and focus on online sales. Okay guys, so I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. You give me a thumbs up, you drop me a comment, and you follow this channel like a man if you haven't yet. Have you ever been to a Guitar Center? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you can, try to support Guitar Center. Help them out a little bit. Just buy a pack of strings, some cable, picks, whatever you can. But more importantly, make sure you support your mom and pop stores. Your local businesses, they're really hurting and they need you. Okay guys, thanks for sticking around. I will see you guys next time. Pat out. Metal on, dudes.